Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. This is Connie with Prairie Paper Crafts coming on today to share with you the project share for this street tag holder. And then I'm also going to share with you how I created in Design Space, if you'd like to stay, and then how I put it together and decorate it. It's going to be a little bit of a long video. I apologize, skip around and watch what you would like. And if you want to see more videos on how I put things together in Cricut Design Space, when I do them, let me know, please, in the comments. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get started here. My crow is from Kadoodle Bug Designs. The ovals are from some Spellbinder dies that I have, and the leaves, I'm not sure. I think I got them from Kim Ferguson, but I'm not positive, Kim. I'm so sorry about that. I just used some little pony beads that I had melted down here on this one, and some what is it called? Angel hair yarn. I'm not sure exactly what this stuff is called. You guys probably know. I've had it in my stash forever. Put some up here, and again, this is just a little pony bead that's melted down, and this is like a organza or a taffeta. No, organza. I think it is ribbon. It's a really reasonable ribbon. Not sure. And then I didn't have any brown buttons, so I just created some circles and stacked them together, and I layered quite a bit to get them a little bit thicker, like chipboard. And then I put some baker's twine on this side here, again from really reasonable ribbon. And then I created this. The whole thing is created in Design Space. I did two, and this one I did a little bit different because I messed up just a little bit, but it still works. So the other one is just a tiny bit different over here. But pattern paper is all digital. Okay. The tag up there, that is just Spellbinder's tag, as are the leaves up here. The flowers, a mulberry flower from Really Reasonable Ribbon. This little tag could be used as a pocket for a gift card holder if you wish, whatever. I'm going to just use it to write a note on the back. It is a digital image from an Etsy shop. I'm not even sure. I did cut it out with my Cricut because I don't fussy cut anything. I'm terrible that way. This image and that image are also from an Etsy seller, and I did cut them out with the Cricut. They're JPEG files, so I just converted them over so I could cut them out easily. And that little tag is a tag, it's a little die from AliExpress or Amazon. I'm not sure. They're four little doily tags. They're really tiny. No, there's not much here for information, but that's what I use for those. And again, you could decorate them any way you wish. And I just let the paper do the decorating on these, mostly on the inside, because you have to keep them quite flat because there is a magnet there to hold them. So be a great project for Christmas or any odd, holiday, or if you have someone that's not feeling well, put some soup in there and some crackers and a little get well notes. So yeah, just a fun little project. And then I have one other one I created, and this one is just a tiny bit different on this side. I went back and watched it better. But anyway, this bow also is basically that same chill. I think it's organza, to be honest. I put a little twine tie on there. Some gems that I have. I think they're from Honeybee Stamps. Now this design is from Cuddly Cute Designs. I popped this and the crow and the sunflower up. Again, use some of those leaves. I have a little bit of different um, fiber back here that was gifted me several years ago. Digital paper also from an Etsy seller. I would have never put these colors together for fall, and I really like them. Really do. The back is plain, okay? And this one now is probably better on the inside. I figured out the gusset here, and this is the one I did the tutorial on. So give you an idea. And then these two, I meant to make them stickers, and I'm not sure if I uploaded them or when I was uploading, if I did something. I have to go back and look, but I just made them out of plain, printed them on photo paper, and had the Cricut cut them out. And again, this one is on one of the doilies I just showed, and this on this little leaf. And then this little card or tag too is from an Etsy seller. I don't know if it's from the same shop as the other one. I think it is. I don't remember. And then these leaves were cut with dies that I have, and then that blessed was part of it. And the blessed is cut. Oh, you can't see it there. Oh, there you can. Probably a little bit. That orange part was cut in orange paper, and it was way too light, so I just sponged it with brown. And then it's got that tiny bit of a shadow that comes through. I don't know if you can see it on, but in real life you can. So it just gives that little bit of a highlight from the background. But that was also cut with a die, same as the leaves came from, and that's from an AliExpress set. I think I got it from. Not positive. But I have ideas of what I'm putting in here. But again, you could use this for basically anything. I had seen this on a YouTube channel, Kathy Clement's channel. I don't have all the dies, so I thought, oh, I can do this in Cricut Design Space. And for the majority of I did, I cut my gusset here, and then I did the pocket different than she did down here. The gussets for the pocket, I did that different, and I cut those manually also. But the rest I did in Cricut Design Space. I believe I cut the pieces for the gusset uh, also manually. I'm almost positive I did, but anyway, that was pretty minor, but that's the back. So I want to thank you for joining me. If you want to stick around, I'll be sharing with you how I put or created this one and put it together and everything. Otherwise, thank you all for joining me. Have an awesome day and take care. Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. This is Connie with Prairie Paper Crafts, coming on today to share with you how to create the fall tag treat box in Cricut Design Space. I saw this on a YouTube video. I think it was Kathy by Design. It's KW Clement, I think. I'll try to remember to share the link in the video description box. I don't have all of the tags and dies and stuff she uses, so I put mine together a little bit different, but using designs in Cricut Design Space. So I have that open and it come up to images, and the tag I'm using is, let me see if I can get it here. M as in Mary 4, E as in Edward, C as in Charlie 9, B as in Bravo, A as in Alpha 6 4. I'm not good at finding things this way, so I'm gonna see what I can do here. That does not look correct at all, but it could be. Bear with me here. I'm just going to take a look at my. Yep, it is. Okay. I just did some slicing, and I'm doing this from scratch. I already have it designed, but it's easier to do it from scratch. And I'll give you everything. You can use any tag, by the way, okay? But this is going to be a 4x6 tag. So what I'm going to do is I want to straighten the bottom first of all. So I'm just going to come up and grab a shape and stretch it across and slice it. Okay. Get those out of the way. I don't want this area here to show. I want to get rid of that, so I'm going to hide the contour. That is what I started with. And now it's 4 inches by 6 inches. So I need to change this. That's the initial shape of the box I used. I'm going to make it light gray. It's just a little easier for me to see. So my box has a front and a back, and then it also has a flap, as I showed you in the project share. So I'm going to need two of these, and then one for the flap. Before I duplicate this though, I'm going to make my other pieces. I have on the front and the back, I have one solid color in addition to this. My solid color, I go at minus is 0.69, and I don't think it's going to like me to do it very well, so oops, me an offset some days, I tell ya. Oh no, I did too many. We'll just get rid of that one for a moment. I want this color to be, I'm just going to do pink. I grouped it instead. Sometimes for some reason when I do a negative like that, it just doesn't work properly. Okay, there, it did it. Now I'm going to make it pink so I know it's a different solid color. This is the only thing I had to struggle with was getting my colors straight, okay? So bear with me here. Now, I did one more offset of this pink for my pattern paper, also at minus 0.069. Okay, and I'm just going to do that in white for right now. Now, I got my box around all of them. I'm going to come over and duplicate it. So I have my front piece and my back piece. Okay, now I want this gray piece. For right now, I'm going to group these two and I'm going to group these. And actually, I'm going to duplicate this. It's easier than I always have one to work with. And I'm just getting those so I can have them. Okay, so I need two more of these. I've got one here. I'm going to make one more and just put it down here for now. This I'm going to make my flap. My flap is 4 inches wide, 5.5 inches tall. So I'm just going to come up here, change this to 5.5. How I decided what sizes to use was sometimes the designer creator of the video will share with you what tags they're using and where they got them. So in this case, I believe she did. I went and got the dimensions of the tags to make it easier for me. Some things they'll give you, you can create it, on your own also. I want to rotate this flap 90 degrees, and so I know what way it's going because it's going to come around to the front. And it's going to get scored on this end over here on the right side. I do that manually. I don't try to do it with the Cricut because I still end up having to redo it. Okay. Anyway, this is the part that's going to be the flap, and you're going to have a piece for the outside of pattern paper and also the inside. So I'm going to go ahead again and do my offset. And I'm going to do it in white because I know it's pattern paper. And I'm going to create another one of those because that's going to go on the back. And for right now, I'm just going to send it to the back, but I'm just going to put it a little bit so I know it's there. And I'll just group them, okay? This may seem really simple, but sometimes it's, like I said, cutting the right pieces and stuff is the most difficult part for me. Now, the second piece that we saved down here, I'm going to use it for my inside pocket. And I want it to be 4 inches by 4 inches. It's already 4 inches wide. So I'm going to take a shape and I'm just going to use this. Okay. And I'm going to make it longer. The width doesn't matter. The height I want to be, let's see. This is 6 inches and I want it 4. So I'm going to make this 2 inches. Okay. So then I'm going to put these two together. I'm going to align the bottom. So now when I slice these two, you get 4 inches by 4 inches. To me, it makes it very easy. The pocket gussets, because this one will have a gusset, I'm going to cut the pieces manually with my cutting board. The gussets on the side, I also cut with my scoreboard. You can make the pieces here. They're 1 3/4 inch wide. So let's just bring in a shape and unlock it. So 1 3/4 inch wide. Can't type. And they are, whoops, I really can't type. Didn't catch that. And they are 4.5 inches tall. Okay. And I'm going to make those gray because that's going to be the initial base color. They'll each be scored at 1/2 inch with the short side on the scoreboard. Again, I don't score them with the Cricut. You will need 2 of those. So if you want to cut it with the Cricut, you can just duplicate it. Excuse me, you'll only need 1. I messed up on the first one. I mean, it's okay, but yeah, you don't need 2. You just need 1. And then if you want to cut pattern paper for those, you would need 2. You just do 1/8 of an inch smaller, which you could just do internal offset. Well, no, you don't. You only need you need the inside pattern paper. You need 2 pieces, front and back. You only need them, 5/8 of an inch wide. I just cut them with my cutter. It's just as easy, but it's pattern paper. You would need 2 of them. But if you wanted to do it, then you would do, again, let's see, 4.5, so 4.3875 by 5/8, 0.625. And then that, I'm going to put it in white, and you need 2 of them. And that should be, I should be, give you about 1/2 of an inch on each side. Like I said, I just cut it in pattern paper. Now, one more thing you want to do with this, you want to do an internal offset. Again, mine was at negative 0.069. Okay, and I'm going to do it in white. Now, I need to cut this down because I want mine in 2 different colors. So what you can do, this shows I want about 2 3/8 off of this. Excuse me. So I'm going to take another shape, make it extra long, and okay, I'm going to again align it at the bottom and slice it. Oops, I went one too far. I want to keep this. Now, you may need to cut this one down just a hair. I can't remember. Yeah, I want to make it 2.25. forgot to take the lock off. This is why I cut this rectangle, I cut it manually with my paper. But now you'll have about 1/8 of an inch at the top, the bottom, and in between. Again, this piece right here, optional if you do it on the Cricut. But this is how I create my tags. So this is going to be the pocket that goes, like I said, I'm still learning where everything is on this and getting used to my setup here. I'm sorry. I'm going to group this so I can get it. This is going to be your inside pocket, and you'll put gussets. Those, it's so much easier just to cut and score manually. And I'll give you those measurements in a moment. And then this is the pocket that you see when you open it up, okay, on the right side. On my left side pocket, I didn't write down the tag I used, so I'm just going to come in here and just pick a tag. Let's see. I wanted something a little bit the top, a little bit flatter. I know that what I used. Not really that one. Let's see. Should have wrote it down. I'm sorry. I'll find one I like soon. I think it might have been this one. I'm not sure. It's close. But what I want it to be is pretty much the width of this white piece, which is 3.724. So first of all, let's just make it that. For width, I'm going to hide that contour. Don't want that. And that's just because it's in there. It doesn't matter. If it's not, you can take it out. Now this isn't a very good idea because it's not going all the way to the side. So let me use a tag that is. It'll be so much easier to explain it to you. I'll just find a tag that's straight and use it here. This one's straight. We're just going to just use it for an example, okay? And this one is 3.724. So 3.724. I'm going to be cutting it down, and I'm just going to hide the contour. Okay, figure out about how tall you want it. My tag is 6 inches tall, so I'm going to go 2.725. Okay, so that's the height I want it. Again, bring in a shape to do a slice. Make that shape 2.725 inches tall. Line it at the top and slice. This may seem like a lot of work, but keep in mind you always have it to remake. And if you don't have the dies, this is a much cheaper way to do it. And this is a good way. You can use, like I said, any die or any shapes, but this is how I make a lot of my projects. Okay. Anyway, this is your pocket. Okay, it's going to go in here, and then I do an offset if I'm not using pattern paper. So then I would come in here, and I would have my offset. I use pattern paper, so I don't need that offset. But that is how I create things. I do this a lot. If I don't already have the SVG file, it just makes it very easy. I've just learned to make Cricut Design Space work for me to make a lot of my projects. So we'll get into how to put the box together. I do want to give you the gusset sizes though for this pocket because I did mine a little different. And the gussets for the bottom piece along here, it's 4 inches wide by 1 5/8 inch tall. You're going to score with the short end at the top at 1/2 on each end. So let's say you had this was your gusset, for example. This top piece would go along the top of your scoreboard. You'd score it 1/2 inch, and then again at 1/2 inch from both sides, left and right. The sides along here are 2 3/8 inch tall by 1 5/8 inch wide. Again, same thing. Short end, the 1 5/8 inch at the top of your scoreboard. Score at 1/2 inch from the left side, 1/2 inch from the right. I just flip it around 180 degrees basically, and score at each end or each side. And that is how I put things together. If I come across some more projects that I'm designing in Design Space, I'll share those with you. But I will go ahead now and get switched over and we will put this together. So thank you. Okay, we're going to go ahead and decorate this now. I have taken the pieces and I have glued them down for the sake of time. And you'll be able to tell the only two pieces that have the uh, second layer are the front of this and the back piece. Okay, and I have scored this again at this piece is the one that's a little bit shorter than the long ones. It's let's see, 5.5 by 4. And I've got my magnet in here so it closes properly. Okay, I'm going to go ahead. This little card I printed off of Cricut Design Space. It's actually from an Etsy shop, and I put a small offset border on it. It's going to go in here, and I'm just going to put a little note on there. It just tucks in here. This could be a gift card holder if you wished. I have this little design cut from Etsy. I was going to make them into stickers, and I think I uploaded them wrong, or I don't know what happened with print and cut, to be honest with you. So I'm just doing them on regular photo paper. And my back piece, just a tiny little doily here. They are, there's 4 of them in here. I got them off of Etsy, excuse me, off of AliExpress, I believe, or it might have been Amazon. I don't remember. Um, yeah, I don't remember the seller, to be honest. I don't keep track of all of that stuff. I'm also using some leaves, and the word blessed is in here, this set. And again, that is let's see if I can get this a little bit, let's see, focused, I don't know. There. Again, I don't know who the seller is, but so I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I have just some twine here. I'm gonna put on this side, and this happens to be the front piece. I did make a large bow out of like a what do I want to say, organza type ribbon. This is, I think, 3.5 inch long, and then I just used some heavier, a little bit heavier twine for a bow, and I put a bow on it, or a button, and I put these little gems here. I'm gonna have to glue that down a little better. It doesn't want to stay with the magnet there. This part's always a challenge for me to do this part of it. So we'll see. Now I have a new setup for my camera for video, so I don't know if this is going to work. Trying to get this in frame and also tie a bow. I think I'll do what I normally do. Use my third hand here, get it tight. Um, I got well, actually, it was a sewing table, but it works as a craft table also, that my father had made me years ago. And it's not going to hold. I just try to do it this way. Anyway, I've got that now also, and seeing how it works for me just gives me a little bit more storage space and uh, workspace, so I think it'll be fine. Okay, I'm just going to probably be off camera a moment. I am sorry, I have a struggle tying bows as it is. I'm going to put a little glue dot in there. I think that will be my best bet to hold it while I'm working. those little things that I don't like. I don't know why I have a dislike for glue dots. They come in handy, don't get me wrong. I just never been my favorite thing. Tying bows helps though to have them. Okay, I'm still gonna be off a moment just so I can hold everything. Anyway, so yeah, I have my cabinet that my father had made me, and so I have a little bit better space. I just probably will need to get a chair that swivels now, and I have one if I. It's an antique chair. I don't know where it's at though. Sometimes I stored a bunch of stuff at my mother's, and I'll never know where she put stuff. She doesn't throw anything away, so I know she's got it somewhere. So, no big worries. I'm just trying to get the bow kind of about the size I want it. Just kind of, I'm gonna put some little bit longer tails. You don't have to do this. This is just, you can decorate this however you wish. Okay, let me get a little bit of glue under here. This is why I enjoy making things, letting them sit for a bit to see if any glue is letting loose anywhere. And when I say a bit, a couple days. This one's been sitting a little bit longer just because, as said, going back to my tutoring has taken away from some of my craft time to until I get started with it. Training is pretty intense. You wouldn't think so, but uh, the training that's formulated for this program is very intense. It's a great training. I'm enjoying it, but yeah, it takes time and a lot to learn. Luckily, some of it's coming back. I was worried about that. And this year it actually makes sense. That's even a bigger bonus for me. I just now I remember and feel sorry for the people that are just starting the first year that for me I had no educational background, so that made it a little bit more challenging, I guess I'll say. I'm gonna leave the front to last so I can do the inside a little bit easier. Probably shouldn't have put the bow on right away, but it's okay. It all works. Now I actually have another piece, this little piece that I'm going to be putting on. I decided to put that on here. I'm not popping up anything, even on the top up here when I get to it, because remember, you want your snap to, or your magnet to hold good. So this little leaf has got a little bit of texture, but it'll flatten out enough when it closes. That's what I'm putting this, this piece on. Okay, and I'll go down here. I'm going to put this up here. So I'm going to get that on. This side over here, I'm going to leave flat with nothing on it. If you wanted to put something flat on it, you certainly could. A little sentiment. I'm not doing a lot there. This, I'm just going to let the paper be the focal point. The pumpkins on the paper. I'm just letting them stay plain. I think we'll go with this. Excuse me. I'm trying to get this done today so I can get the rest of it done and uploaded. Uh, I was going to say I had I thought tweezers handy. I have ideas of what I'm going to put in here. I'm not 100% of that. What I want to do will work. You could put hot cocoa, some chocolate, some biscotti, um, cookies in there. You could do a lot of things. Like I said, you could put a gift card over here. This side would have to be more flat just because again, because of that magnet, you have to be careful how much you're putting in there or over here. But yeah, just these would be wonderful for Christmas little gifts, or if someone was sick and you wanted to put a little packet of soup or and some crackers or some tea in there with it, a little spoon. I think that would be a great idea. I just want to hold this down a moment so it stays good. So lots of ideas. Christmas, I think I mentioned Christmas things. You could do some stuff in here and put a little gift card holder in there. Just a little project. And you can make it with tags too. I just don't have a lot of tags like this and stuff, and it's just, for me, it's easier. Okay, so this kit here that I shared with you, this set, that's where my leaves also came from. Now you could use any leaves. You don't have to use, again, what I'm using. It's just whatever you wish to use. I'm putting them down about there. I use whatever glue is handy. Okay, now what I'm doing here, I have to kind of put these. I know these have to go on the bottom. I think this is kind of how I want it. I'm just putting it so I can kind of figure out. I had this color. It was way too light, so I just highlighted. I just sponged it in brown. Put it over here so you can see better. I like that little bit of orange that pops through though yet. Just kind of fills it in. So that's going to go here. So leave my leaves here. And I'm going to leave that part in here open. Just kind of pop them in there. Same thing here. I'll leave this part here without any glue on it. Kind of picked, I'll say, some of the colors from down here a little bit. Um, Granted, they're not all the same, but I didn't want, so I kind of want this here. I didn't want it quite so dark. This one I'm going to leave that top pointed part more without glue. But I would have never put these papers together. I think I mentioned that. Are these colors together? But I think they work well together, the colors, and I like them. Just something different for fall other than the traditional colors. And so I wanted to pick something out a little bit different when I was putting it together too. This one, I'm going to get some other glue. And I'm sorry this has turned out to be a long video, but if and you can obviously speed through it. It's just this is how I do things, and I wanted to show you. Again, I don't edit the videos to speed them up and stuff. You can go through them yourself what you want to see. Well, if I can get the glue to come out, it'll be great. I like to see what people are actually doing though when I'm watching a video. You can tell me all you want, but I'm a visual learner, so I have to see things all the way through. Actually, make it make sense. I get that from more people all the time. I hear that, so. And I know there were some viewers that were asking for some uh, inking, how I do my inking on my edges of my paper pieces. And I'm going to start working on some Christmas projects and things. So I will be sharing with you the process of that. Okay, so that is my inside without it being filled. Okay, and now I'm going to come in with my stuff here. And I don't need this glue anymore, so I'm going to hit close because I tend to forget to put the lids on my glue. Then I look later and I'll go, oh, I don't know. Some days you gotta wonder. Now, I don't know where I got these leaves. I think I got them from Kim Ferguson. I might have picked them up somewhere. I have no clue. This I was going to put foam tape on. I might still, I'm not sure. And hmm, I don't even know where that is today. I have such a mess. I moved, I cleaned stuff, and you think I can find anything? That's the one bad thing about rearranging for me. Just leave stuff where it was. I know where it was. This was gifted to me years ago. I have no idea where from, so I apologize. I think it was part of a swap from a different group I was in, and yeah. Okay, I'm going to go with that. There's no rhyme or reason to how I put things together. Whatever looks good, I just put it on there. I use what I have. I'm always happy to. Sorry about that. I must have bumped something on my camera. I don't know. Anyway, I use what I have. I'm always happy to find different things that I can use. So, put that down. Now, for this stuff, I just kind of put some glue down. I know a lot of people use hot glue. I'm not a fan of hot glue. I was going to get a new hot glue gun or get a hot glue gun because I have no clue whatever happened to mine. If I think I threw it away years ago because I just don't, I'm not a fan of them. I just, after trying to burn my parents' house down one time, yeah, I don't use them anymore. And that was not intentional. It was their great wiring in their house, right? So I'm pretty careful with them. Oh, get this going the right direction. And I'm just going to put this on, pull a little bit this out, pull a little bit down here out. Good way to do this is just to hold it like this. I did pop this acorn up, I popped the bird up, and I popped the sunflower up. Now I could have also put a sunflower in the middle. This is just on with glue dots over that. I'm hoping it stays. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'll probably put some more glue dots on. I'm not comfortable with that. Anyway, I didn't pop a lot of stuff up on here, but just enough. Um, so that is the finished project when it's all got the side. The back is just pretty much plain. And again, just pop it open and nice little gift container. So there you have it. If you have any questions, please leave a comment and I'll get back to you. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Have an awesome day.